Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our MSME Masterclass. Today's session focuses on a critical aspect of modern construction, glass facades, and how the right decisions can significantly reduce heat gain while avoiding costly execution failures on site. We are delighted to have with us Mr. Husain Rampurawala, Director at Sapphire Glass Solutions Private Limited, who brings over 26 years of experience in the architectural glass and facade industry. He has worked extensively on glass facade systems and building envelope solutions across commercial and residential projects, collaborating closely with developers, architects, and contractors. Mr. Rampurawala brings deep expertise in material selection, facade design, and project coordination with a clear understanding of how these decisions influence energy efficiency, cost, and long-term building performances. His experience is firmly grounded in on-site execution, giving him a practical perspective on where facade projects succeed and where they often fall short. In today's discussion, he will share actionable insights on reducing heat gain, improving facade performance, and avoiding common execution challenges. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here.
So we'll quickly jump on to our first question for you, which is what are the primary causes of heat gain in glass facade in Indian building conditions?
The major cause is, I feel, solar radiation. Say, the heat that comes into radiation, and that means the right choice of glass combination is needed in that. And as you said, where it falls short is the wrong choice of combination in glasses. Now, for example, in all the buildings that you see in commercial areas and residential areas, DGU, double glazed units, are very commonly used to cut heat because that is where the game changes. When you use a double glazed unit, the air gap in between does the trick. Now, I will not go in the details of technicalities because it doesn't matter here. But yes, the right choice of VLT and heat gain is what you need to actually balance it out there. Every person needs to do that. Every project has a consultant on board, a facade consultant, an architect, and a fabricator, and a glass processor. These four aspects are there for all the discussion that we are going to do for now. These four are pillars of every building's heat gain control. So solar heat gain control, SHGC, is what we are actually mainly focusing on. So on your first question, what are the primary causes of heat gain in glass facades in building conditions? The major cause is heat gain through solar radiation, right? Now, solar radiation happens when your external glass value, the VLT chosen, is wrong. That's where the problem starts, ma'am. So in our conditions, in Indian conditions, we need anything below 50 VLT. So 50 VLT means how much percentage of light is coming in? It will get that much percentage of heat also with it. So in our conditions, 50% or lower is what we need. But unfortunately, in many situations, in residentials, 75-65% VLT glasses are being used, which are of no use actually. It doesn't provide anything.
Understood. So tell us, how does the choice of glass type influence thermal performance and energy efficiency?
Okay. For example, if you use a glass that is widely used in India, is a clear 65 code. Every glass has a code, or this is provided by Guardian GGL, Gujarat Guardian Limited. The second brand is Saint Gobain, very big brand in India. All these are prominent international brands. ST167. These are 65, 67 VLT glasses that are widely used in almost all the big brands projects in India, because these are entry level glass. So they go well on the budget, but these budgets are very expensive for a lifetime. For these investments that they are trying to cut here, not cut, I would say that they are unaware, and the industry is not educated enough to understand heat, light, privacy, UV control, and what these aspects contribute to your life every day for the rest of your life, because your home is a sanctuary. Your office is a place where you're going to spend 8 to 10 hours a day. So all these things really matter when your choice of glass really starts, basically where it starts, where it begins. is the developer's decision, the consultant's decision, the fabricator's decision, the glass manufacturer's decision. But unfortunately, in all these decisions, the glass processor is just a spectator, who is the most important aspect, because we know what VLT does, how much of heat is needed in which kind of place. But unfortunately, due to not having a proper coordination amongst these four people, is causing this major issue. When 67% or 65% light and heat is coming inside in our homes or offices, this will create a hot box in your house. And that is why everywhere you will see curtains being pulled down in residential houses across Mumbai, everywhere during the day, either due to privacy issues, because someone is peeping into your house, or continuous glare and heat just getting into your space. So all you can do is put down the curtains. So whether you are living on the ground floor or the 20th floor or the CPU, or you are living in the best of societies, you will not be able to enjoy the view. The right choice of glass, the VLT, if you choose below 50, 45 VLT, 35, 40 VLT, your heat is taken care of. Your privacy is taken care of. No one can peep inside. You can see outside clear, but no one can see inside. Your UV is cut 100%. Your upholstery cost comes down drastically. So your owning a house cost is really dependent on your glass choice. And this is where all the compromise or not understanding the subject enough before choosing your glass is leading to. And this is what I'm seeing every day. I'm at the factory, I'm making all these glasses, and all I see is the wrong specifications coming to us and being told this is how you want to make it. You can make it, or it just goes to someone else. That's how the industry is currently working.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, sir. So that leads me to my next question. Where do most projects go wrong while selecting glass for facades?
Okay. The first step normally is the developer is finalizing a facade consultant on board. The facade consultant is the educated part here, in which the facade consultant's job is not just the choice of glass. The company's concern should be the facade life, the materials used in the facade, and everything along with the VLT and SHGC of the glass. The entire industry is working separately. The architect has no connect with the fabricator. The fabricator is told to work with a certain processor. The consultant is being hired by the developer. He has not much connection with the entire four people. These four people have to sit together in every project. Only then that project will become a safe haven for commercial or residential usage. This is the root cause of the problem, I believe. Because knowledge sharing is going to solve all the problem, right?
Right, absolutely right. So tell us, how do coatings such as low E and reflective glass help reduce heat gain?
Okay. As I said initially, glass has its value. Glass has its, its flaw, or it's good or bad about it. It's very simple. Amount of light that you let in, which will get equal or similar amount of heat also with it. So in a clear glass that you see almost everywhere we are using in malls, in buildings, in doors and everything, they have approximate 88% VLT. VLT means visible light transmission. The amount of light that we are allowing inside, it's almost getting 88% of heat also with it. And in our conditions where for example, Maharashtra, we are in India, basically all over India, but Maharashtra strongly is on the equator, around the equator. That's directly going in front of the sun, right? So we are having maximum lux and VLT. We need to cut it. The normal, as you said, you want examples, right, ma'am? Examples will help. The sunglasses that we use everywhere in Mumbai, in our cities, is the darkest of sunglasses, right? We use black Ray-Bans mostly that you'll see on the roads that we are walking around. Do you see light colored shades, no one uses them. You'll use the darkest. Why? Because it is cutting the maximum light. The maximum light you cut, the maximum heat you cut, and maximum glare also you cut. So these three things are correlated. In that sunglasses, the VLT is only 8%. Only 8% light is coming in and it's making you feel comfortable. And in your house, you are getting in 88% light and heat. How will you be comfortable? It is not practically possible. This 65-70% VLT glasses are made for European weather, where you want light and heat to come in, because the cooling cost is not there, the heating cost is there. Interiors, they are, yeah. So exactly where you copy and paste of the same old system which is being used in Europe or colder conditions is being copy and paste in our country conditions, which is exactly opposite. It has nothing to do with that conditions. The problem is the education that our architects, our consultants, and all the people are taking in is the European concept education. Because glass processing, these coatings and everything was the most started there in the Western world, in the advanced countries, where the weather is not similar to us. The weather is very different. Now, because of that situation, the entire concept changes of choice of glass. Yeah, the choosing technique also changes. When you have to realize it, that where we are and this building is being made in a certain place where north, south, east, west and the shadow regions are to be considered. But unfortunately, site visits and all these things are not being considered in the right time. They are just people sitting in an office on Google and using tech and AI and these kind of tools and deciding the VLT of glass. That's the root cause of a wrong choice of glass being used. So VLT is very important, ma'am. The coating, as you said. So in Indian conditions, coatings like low E glass compared to other simple coating like solar series, like solar plus series, there are a lot of series. Low E is low emissivity glass. The limitations of low E glass has been solved. There were two series, solar series and low E glass internationally. Now, low E glass has a problem. It has a limitation. It has to be made a DGU. You cannot use a low E glass as a single panel. It has to be cut. It has to be processed within a certain hour time frame bracket. Only then it can be utilized as a product for a longevity of life of the product. Now, solar series and solar plus series. Now these series also have come in the picture as glass is progressing, technology and everything with time is changing. Now due to this change, the best part is solar plus series doesn't need to make it a DGU. It can be used in a SGU also. It doesn't need to shut between two panels. Now that gives you a lot of liberty and leverage to be able to use this glass freely, because you don't need a huge quantity all the time. Replacement cost and replacement problems of future of low E glass are very, very huge comparatively to SGU. And procurement is also a very big challenge later on for the people who are going to live there in their offices or their homes. So difference between low E glass and solar glass is very simple, ma'am. Low E glass are low emissivity coating and solar series glasses are can be used SGU, as I said. Now, technologically difference is there, ma'am. Times have changed. Now, low E glass are not the only option in which heat can be controlled very well. Solar plus series and these kind of series have also come internationally.
Correct. Right. So, my next question to you is what trade offs exist between maximizing daylight and controlling heat ingress?
Right. Again, we started on the same note. Amount of VLT coming in, light coming in, the same amount of similar amount of heat will also come in. For example, a clear glass, as I said, 88% approximately, let's in VLT, your light and heat both. If you coat this glass as a low E glass, for example, you take a 50 VLT low E glass. A 50 VLT low E glass will not let in 50% heat also inside. A low E glass will reduce the amount of heat coming in compared to the light coming in. It will let more light in and cut more heat. This is what a performance glass actually does. A low E glass, a solar series glass, a solar plus series glass. This is what you get when you use these glasses. The coating does the job. It lets the light in but cuts the heat more. Like a 50% VLT of a solar plus or low E glass will not let a 50% heat also come in. It'll cut to around 35% or 40% or 25% depending on which series we are using. A double silver, a single silver, a triple silver. There are all different stages in advanced glasses. But yeah, what conditions we have and where we are going to use these glasses, this is the most important thing that has to be considered first.
Understood. And so, according to you, how does building orientation actually impact facade heat performance?
Building orientation is the space where the building is going to be made, right? If that is what we are considering here, then a north, south, east, west of the site visit is very important. And today and tomorrow has to be considered both. If you are just considering today whether the shadow region is there or no, or tomorrow whether it will be there or not, there are projects around it. This is the thing that makes a difference, ma'am. The orientation of the building is the place. Today, if you place a building of 30, 40 story, and there are buildings around it already, then there is a lot of shadow region. If you choose a glass that is of a low VLT, your shadow regions will make the building dull inside. So your electricity bills will increase because you will start using more of the internal lighting effects, which could have been sorted if you used a higher VLT glass. It could have let more light inside in the shadow region. So building orientation, these things are to be taken care of, ma'am.
Understood. Sir, also tell us what role, according to you, do double glazing and insulated glass units play in reducing thermal load?
Ma'am, DGU or insulated glass are the same products.
Okay.
Insulated glass is an IGU and DGU, double glaze unit. It is the same product. And having an air gap between two glass panels helps reduce conduction of heat transfer and helps achieve better U value. It also prevents condensation. Now, if you use a SGU, there will be condensation. There will absolutely be condensation because you're just like a supermarket fridge. One side is cold, one side is hot. That's our conditions, right? Inside AC is on, and externally there is a heat coming in from the sun and our environment. That's where the condensation outside will happen and it will destroy the coating of the glass. So SGU is never an option. The DGU helps in all these aspects. So IGU and they're both the same thing, ma'am.
So tell us, where do sealing and jointing failures lead to thermal inefficiencies?
Failure in primary seal, butyl. Now, when you make a DGU, there are multiple seals that go into making that product. Like your primary seal is butyl. Which company butyl are you using? Which machines are you using to utilize that butyl? And what technique are you using to melt the butyl to use it on the DGU panels? Now, these things are actually going to decide the life of the product. Like there's the first seal is primary seal is the butyl, secondary seal is your silicon. Which silicon are you using? There are huge differences. For example, in Indian conditions, I will give you a perfect example, ma'am. Dow Corning, Dowsil is one of the best worldwide, the top category. In the life of a building, the silicon plays the most important aspect because it is going to have the flexibility in the building because when a DGU is installed, the building has slight movements always. The earth is always moving slightly. There are wind conditions. The panel is deflated and inflated with the air pressure outside in windy conditions. All these things are affecting the seals of the panels. Now, all those seals are two: primary sealant is butyl, and the secondary sealant is silicon. The silicon, I think almost all your every project needs to be using Dow seal in India. Our condition demands extreme heat solutions because our Indian conditions are hot conditions. Then too, lower grade silicons are being used in India. So it's very important that right products, right techniques of using that products, and thirdly, the right machines, technologies needed to join and make that product. These three things have to be all together in tandem. If you use the best product but don't utilize it well, then everything goes for a toss. So seals, yes, make the most important thing, ma'am. Poor installation destroys the performance of high quality glass, ma'am.
Got it, sir. So how does poor installation undermine the performance of high quality glass?
Poor installation can be in two divisions that we can say. One, installation of panel that you're making, or your question goes towards installation of the panel or installing on the facade. Where does your question go to?
Installing on the facade, sir.
Installing on the facade. Now, when you install on the facade, again, silicon plays an important role. So when you use Dow silicon, your Dow Sil, for example, I'm just naming one particular brand so that it's relevant to talk about. There are Wacker also. There is a standard, like A grade will be a few there, B grade will be few there, C grade will be. Every type of silicon that is available in the market has a certain kind of utilization. It has a place where it should be used, not just the value. In our conditions, in our business ways right now, due to lack of awareness, and whoever is a seller just is promoting their product, not actually being responsible for the failures tomorrow. In India, warranty period is the culprit. This is what my experience tells me today. For example, you bought a TV today. That TV is costing 3 lakh rupees. The warranty says 1 year. Actually, the warranty is given so that within a year, if there is a defect, or there's a problem, the company should be very happy to take it back and replace it within a year, because the life of the product is not 1 year. The intent should be made that 10 years the product should last, right? Without any external problems, it should not get spoiled. The same example I would put here in glass. Every product that is being used, like silicon, the most important bonding factor of a panel to the facade and within itself between glasses also, the warranty period is being considered. The life of the product is not being considered. That's where the problem happens. Chinese silicons and many other silicons that are much more cheaper, I would say, for example, put into perspective, Silande. Silande is a silicon company. I'm not against any brand, ma'am, but that silicon is 140 rupees a kg. And Dow Sil is 500 rupees a kg. The difference is the life of the product. This is what my experience tells me. The Dow silicon will work after years and years and years. In extreme conditions also, it will perform. And other silicons that are slightly cheaper, these are one-time cheap costs, ma'am. All the expenses that are being saved in our current construction industry, these are just one-time small savings, resulting into long-time big expenses. Because once a facade is being made with the wrong silicon and approved by the authorities, because nothing happens without approval, everything is approved by higher authorities. And unfortunately, lack of education about those products leads to these kind of decisions. And obviously, at the end of the day, the client, the buyer is suffering, and the buildings are suffering, due to which water leakages, fogging in DGU happens. All these kind of disasters happen, which are not easy to replace. The replacement costs are massive. So today's being unaware kind of situation and using the wrong product leads to tomorrow's big disasters.
My next question to you is what are the most common execution failures seen in facade installations?
If a project is executed without a facade consultant, that leads to major issues. As I said, there are four parts, right? There's an architect, there's a consultant, there is a fabricator, and there's a processor. I'm a processor, and I have seen in many, many, many projects in India, there is no facade consultant involved. The developer is directly giving the job of facade to a fabricator. And in that condition, everything will fall apart because the fabricator and the facade consultant's primary job is to make sure the fabricator and the processor both are doing perfectly well. I mean, they are doing their job right. Just imagine there is no facade consultant in the picture. The facade fabricator and the processor will do whatever they feel like, and result into what? There's no monitoring. There's no one responsible to take care of it. So that is one of the biggest reasons that I have seen failures in facades, especially water leakages in future. That the client did not hire a facade consultant. Yes, sorry, ma'am, continue.
My next question, sir, to you was, how do coordination gaps between architects, contractors, and fabricators affect the outcome?
Okay. The question itself highlights the flaw here. The coordination success needs to be between architects, facade consultants, fabricator who is a knowledgeable glass processor and knowledgeable glass processor. So there are four aspects, as I always said initially also. These four people are the four pillars of your building's future. How safe and how will the building perform in future? These four people together coming on every project and how closely they are working on their project, that is going to determine everything for that building tomorrow. But unfortunately, out of the four, hardly one or two are decision makers on behalf of all of them. So this coordination not being there is becoming the biggest challenge. I'll give you a perfect example, ma'am. I am a glass processor. I have knowledge about my product only. As I always before also I corrected this situation that I am not in the place to comment on a facade consultant's job, because they have to see many other things, not just the glass. How the glass will fit on the facade is their second challenge, not just the glass. Now, in that situation, when I am the glass manufacturer or the processor, I am not being consulted only. For example, if you go to a restaurant and you tell the chef that this is the recipe for my paneer makhan wala, you have to make it that way. And if it doesn't turn out good, can you hold responsible the chef? The recipe was given by you. And he can be held responsible, he or she, when you give that person the liberty to make it the way that person is supposed to make. That's what's happening. We are being told to just provide that particular recipe and make the glass and give it, when we know that this is not going to solve the problem. But unfortunately, the glass processor has almost zero say in all the projects. It's a very alarming thing, but this is the reality.
What site level checks, according to you, are critical before and during glass installation?
The facade consultant is responsible totally for it, ma'am. They have a checklist, they have a procedure. Now, as technology has increased, there are a lot of testing equipments come up. Lots and lots and lots. For example, for glass also. Initially, there were the old school methods were literally you have to break everything down to understand the what kind of glass is being made. But now in today's era, there are multiple techniques and multiple devices that have come up, which you just aim at the product and you will come to know what is the reality inside without even breaking the glass. Like heat sensing, there's a gun. We just aim at it, you'll come to know what is the exact temperature on the surface. So these kind of things have already introduced in the market. Internationally, we are growing very fast. The industry is growing pretty fast. It's very good to see.
So now tell us, how can MSMEs balance cost pressures with the need for thermal performances?
Okay. As glass processors are the core, due to them being the manufacturer of glass panels. We manufacture glass panels, right? We are doing the job there. That's the only job we do. We specialize only one thing, ma'am. We are not specializing in multiple things. So that's our superpower also. When one person, one company does only one job, that person needs to be in the consulting area. Unfortunately, as we said, that is not happening. They're having all responsible info about coatings. Now, coatings are most important thing as we spoke. All the processors in pan India, whoever are into this industry, have full knowledge about coatings. Coatings are the game changer, ma'am. Every now and then, all the technological advancements that are coming on coating only, right? That amount of light being coming in and the heat should change. Like 50% VLT coming in, 50% heat should not come in. Heat should come lower. That's the game change that's continuously happening. And being updated about that game change is the main thing. Knowledge about change is not present in our industry much. In our industry, the biggest problem is facts and myths are an issue. The industry is always lagging behind as far as being updated to with the current trends of the world is going on, because technologies are changing, but due to myths, there are so many myths regarding our industry that first of all, glass is a product which immediately when you relate to a glass product today. Now when you know about glass, 99% people don't know about glass. So all they think about glass is fragile, they'll get hurt. That's the mentality, that's the mindset. That is due to people not being educated about it much. Awareness programs are the need of the hour. This is what I believe. The glass manufacturers today are not doing this aspect very clearly. How many advertisements have you seen regarding glass manufacturers educating the clients or aam aadmi ko, what do you call it, the layman? No one, nothing. There is zero advertisements. There is zero awareness programs about glass and how glass is to be used, what kind of coatings are there, how can it make your life a better place. The awareness programs are totally missing. There are sales schemes going on in the market. They just go on selling that product which maximizes their profits and minimizes their headaches and completes their targets. These three things are the main culprit right now, avoiding for which the programs are the education programs are non-existent. Because if the education programs come in the picture, you and I are smart enough to understand what is needed in which conditions. So instead of the education program going in this direction, the selling game is going on, in which it obviously goes in the favor of the manufacturer of glass.
Got it. So my next question to you is, what is the impact of facade heat gain on long-term energy consumption and costs?
As more heat is transferred inside, obviously your electricity bill goes higher, right? So the impact of the heat gain is obviously proportionate to your pocket, literally to your pocket every day of whoever is living in that house or that office. Now, We see regularly, for example, a developer saves 100 rupees on buying a cheap performance glass, and the consumer ends up paying rupees 50 every year, higher and higher and higher as the electricity bill goes, your units go higher. So this is where the problem is happening. Today's developer and today's architect, or not architect, today's consultant or the fabricator or whoever is the decision maker is trying to save a little year is a lifetime expense and a headache for the buyer tomorrow. For example, ma'am, when a developer makes a building, whatever products the developer is using today is never going to pay back the client. There is no recurring benefit. For example, if the developer uses Jaguar or Grohe or anything in its plumbing or sanitary ware, no matter how good it is, you will love using it, but will it pay you back anything? It will never pay you back. Glass is the only product that you can utilize, the developer can utilize, in which today's amount spent is going to give back the client recurring benefits for lifetime in electricity bills. Not just electricity bills, privacy. That's the basic right of every house today, right? Today, we men, for example, are out mostly. I'm just generally saying this. We are sitting in our offices. In my personal cabin, also, there is a frosted film put so that I get my privacy. I'm the owner of the company, but yes, it matters to me who's peeping inside and all the time looking at me or no. The same way, my family is sitting at home. My wife is there, my mother is there, my father is there, my kids are there. Today, no matter where I buy a house, there will be 99%. There will be a building tomorrow made there in front of me, or it is already there. In these all conditions, there is someone looking into my house. And if there is no privacy for my family, then what am I doing? At the end of the day, I'm putting on curtains. So these solutions are there. Energy cost efficient solutions are there, ma'am. But unfortunately, one-time saving thought process is the culprit. And these amounts are very peanut, ma'am. Peanut amounts. They are meager amounts. They are not huge amounts. And the benefits are amazing, amazing, amazing.
Right. So my next question to you is, how do air leakage and water ingress affect overall facade performance?
That will destroy the facade, ma'am. When air and water is entering your facade over time, and this happens via silicon or faulty installation, obviously work done, both the things corrode the interior of the entire panel, and that destroys, the corrosion will destroy the panel's life. Today, in my opinion, a building's facade should be made with the intent that it should last at least 40 to 50 years minimum. But unfortunately, in our cities, as I said before, many projects don't even have a facade consultant on board. And that leads, the facade consultant is the person who is monitoring the facade fabricator's work. So your watchman is missing. This will result into these gaps, the faulty methods of installation. And at the end of the day, very, very soon, in a few years' time, there will be water ingress, there will be corrosion happening, and there will be all sorts of problems falling apart. And the repair cost is crazy, because you can't shut the entire office building to change the glass panels. So these costs are massive compared to what you had saved.
Got it. So my second last question to you is, what are the risks of condensation in glass facades, and how can they be managed?
A DGU panel consists of primary sealant, the second product that's called a butyl, the second product is molecular seal, third product is aluminum spacer, fourth product is your secondary seal, that is your silicon. Okay. These four things are the main things that make a DGU. That's a makeup. These are their seals and their goalkeepers in football that you say that even if anything happens at the end of the day, the goalkeeper will save your day. Unfortunately, people don't understand that just the products don't matter. For example, in layman language, there are two ways to make a car. Which one would you prefer? One, you buy company made car. You just go to the showroom, you pay, you take your car. The second way is a cheaper way. You buy all the spare parts, send it to a mechanic, he will join it for you. They will look same, ma'am, in the initial days, but very soon that will start rattling and fall apart. It will not perform like a proper company made car. That's what we are talking about here. This is a brilliant question, ma'am. I don't think any person has ever asked me this question. Now let's get here. I think they should sum things up very well. All these four products that I told you, your primary sealant, butyl molecular seal, desiccant, that is what's called, your spacer, and your silicon. These four things. These four things, first of all, which brand are these? This is what the client needs to understand. Second, what is your technology that the processor has to join these products to make it one panel? Isn't these two important things, ma'am, related to each other? Even if you have the best of brands that you're using and you don't have the technology to assemble it, your product will be a failure. Majority, it will be shocking for you. There are 350 processors approximately in India. Dow Silicon is the need of Dow. It's always been the best. I personally believe, I advocate for Dow a lot because I know the results. 26 years into the industry, I've seen failures. I've seen what it does. So for me, if a building is being made, that's my profession and that's my gift to the society. That my work should stand to the test of time. I think every person needs to think, I should be thinking like that. I'm sure you are sitting across the table and doing the same right now. So yeah, so brands are important and technology is important. So out of 350 processors, you will be shocked that only 5 or 6 are Dow certified. Rest all are using anything that they can feel they can use. There is no compulsion, there is no discussion on silicon, ma'am. So when an order is being placed in the market by biggest names that you can understand, I would not like name them, but all the biggest developers in the country today are not even talking about silicon, not even asking which silicon is being used. They are only asking about the price. For example, a 6 mm, 12 mm plus 6 mm DGU, 6, 12, 6 is what we normally call it. It can change now, obviously, 8, 12, 6 or whatever. But just taking a standard in picture, a 6, 12, 6, this glass can have two prices, very different prices, ma'am. If you're using Chinese silicon, lower grade desiccant, and your primary seal, that is butyl, it should be Italian or those kind of products. If that is also compromised on, and the machinery equipment that 90% of India uses is the cheapest in the world. Unfortunately, this is the reality. The combination of a person who's making this product as compared to a person who's like me, for example, I have the best machineries in the world. European top-notch products I use to assemble those products and those ingredients. My output cost and the others' output cost will be massively different. But suddenly I become expensive in that condition. The buyer needs to understand this. That in layman language, how many carats of gold are we talking about? The developer here is saying, I need gold. the need is always 24 karat. Gold cannot be compromised in these because it's a building, it's a safety, it's a life, it's everything is related to that. Unfortunately, a 12 karat gold supplier is also considered on equal bench to a 24 karat gold supplier. Their prices are compared and the 12 karat is chosen very happily. This is the best way I could put it across to you right now in the most simplest of language. No one is caring about the quality here. There are hardly, I think 1 or 2% of the industry buyers who understand these topics. As far as I am concerned, I do educational programs right now because I have understood that this is the need of the hour. I myself have started going to these big companies and big names because they do care, but they don't know where to get this education from. So their teams, when they come to our premises, we understand their thought process that they really need to know these things first. They have zero knowledge on glass processing. The processor is considered to be the most unimportant person. As well, the reality is totally different. We are the main people making the product. The others are involved in supervision and installation of the product.
Right.
This is the problem going on. This is what my personal evaluation would be on this topic, ma'am.
So now my last question to you is, how can quality consistency be ensured across large-scale facade projects?
Ma'am, again, we're coming to the same topic. Actually, it's fantastic that we had the entire discussion. This could lead to this answer only, as you said. Jointly working with fabricators and glass processor. Every developer today is 99% hiring a glass fabricator to do the job and taking a quote from that person of the glass also. So obviously the fabricator will choose the cheapest processed glass available in the market because of competition. The prices are, it's a competitive world, and in that, the cheaper the better. If you are not going to face the consequences, people are working on warranty periods. People are not working on the product life of the product and the buildings in the inconvenience or how much is it going to pay you back and how convenient is this product going to be and what are the features of the product. These questions are the questions, the need of the hour. Unfortunately, processors are not considered as an important aspect in building making. So the best solution I would say is in every project, get a fabricator on board with a processor sitting next to it in front of you and discuss the project out. You'll see the result and you'll be amazed because all your problems will go out of the window. Because these two people together can solve all the facade related issues, all of them.
With that, we've come to the end of today's episode. So thank you so much for being with us and for sharing your detailed insights on glass facades and how can we reduce heat gain and execution failures. Thank you so much. It really means a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
For our attendees,
it was a pleasure being here.
Thank you, sir. For our attendees who are online, if you've missed any part of the current episode or if you'd like to view the current episode again, please go on YouTube, type JSW One MSME and you'll find all our episodes uploaded there. Thank you once again, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you.